Welcome to the club. My name is John. I'll be your host for this meeting. And I got to start it off with one of my favorite sayings. We took a little loss today, Mr. Gecko. In this meeting, we're going to talk about fixed income investments. So, over the last couple of days, our 401ks and our IRAs and our 403bs have fallen off a cliff. If you invested in the S&P 500, large cap, as well as technology, you will have seen a pretty large loss over the last couple of days. There's been a nice little pullback and rally today, only due to the pausing of some tariffs on a number of countries who are, you know, coming to the table to negotiate. So there's been a little clawback in that stock market today, and some of your losses will hopefully get back to where they were at before. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in this meeting is the importance of having fixed income investments or liquidity or investments that can be converted into cash, just in case you have a need to get to your money and something like this happens. We've been through it before. This is the third case in the last 5 years. In March of 2020, we had the shutdown where we closed everything down, and that was middle of March. And if you've lost your job then and got sent home with no real knowledge of coming back, and you didn't have any more income coming in, and you looked at your account, by the time you looked at it, it would have been off like it has been the past week or so. To help protect from that, it's when your investments are really, really high. And if you're tracking those investments, like what I've been talking about with the ticker symbols, as well as the charts when they're high, and you've been able to take and sell some shares, you can move it into a fixed income investment, and that's what we're going to talk about now. So typically, those of us who have checking accounts and basic savings accounts, we can withdraw our money out anytime we want, and that would be a basic savings account. They're paying about zero point zero 0.01 over at the regular banks. Next, you move up to the money markets accounts, and you might be able to get 2%, maybe a little bit more at a bank. The online banks, they pay the most. The last I checked at VO Bank, if you open a new account, they'll give you 4.46%, which is pretty good. And they do have some restrictions. You can only withdraw so much out of it, so many withdrawals per month. And that's designed to keep your money there so that they can use it as well to loan to other banks and then pay you some interest. Then you move into your certificate of deposits, and you can get those in various months and year increments. Those are really nice if you want to make sure that you've got enough cash available to pay all your bills. If you're able to live off, say, 35,000 a year, and you want to put 40 in one CD for 12 months, and you have another one in 24 months and another in 36, and these are maturing at that time because you pulled 100 grand out of your large lump sum within your equities and moved it into fixed income, you would be covered. If the market dropped, you're not looking to pull any money out of that. You could just let the CD mature and take the cash and spend it. So these are all leverages in your investment plans as you get closer to your retirement age. In my case, I'm 63. In 2022, after Russia invaded Ukraine, we went through just a terrible slide on the stock market for the entire year. 2023 was much, much better. We recovered, and up until now, uh, we've been on a nice uh, bull ride, as they call it. And this is a time when you would normally keep track of your investments. If you're a do-it-yourself investor, you would be looking at this stuff pretty regularly, 2 or 3 times a week. In my case, I studied the charts and I set the price that I would like to sell at, and I would just sell X number of shares. Um, I did that last year, and I did it in March. I sold $800 worth of shares out of three mutual funds over at Fidelity, and those the share value kept going up. It actually replaced the money I took out, and at the end of the year, there was reinvestment of the capital gains. And I took that money, I added it to another 5 grand that had matured in a JP Morgan CD. And now I have about 8 grand in case I need to draw on in a Fidelity money market. So that's what I want to talk about here in this meeting about the importance of fixed income investments. Now, me personally, since I have so much in equity in the pre-tax account, in 2022, I had invested $14,000 out of my salary with the 401k as well as my take-home pay, and I only seen the account go up by 5 grand. The other 9 grand was gone, so I decided, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I tallied up how much I had. I looked at all the mutual funds. I said, you got 20, 30, 25 mutual funds. They're all pre-tax. You got to pay taxes on it. Don't do that anymore. And I went ahead and I moved into the fixed income. First, I did pre-tax for a whole year. And then last year in June, I switched it over into a Roth. So this June, I will have 1 year of contributing to the Roth account, which after 5 years, any gains in it, I could take out tax free. So right now, I'm building up the fixed income portion so that when I retire, if something like this happens, I can still retire on time and I have enough to cover years into the future. And that's what a lot of the guys are doing here on YouTube, specifically Joe Kuhn. He's retired, I think, 54, and he's got 14 years of income to cover all his expenses, all in his buckets. Retire with me, Pete, he's got 10 years. He retired. He's been retired almost a couple months now, and he's got a long. He retired at the age of 55, or in the year he turns 55. So he's getting his money out his 401k, but he's got a lot of money in cash, and so he's going to be okay. And that's what everybody else is doing. So it's successful, and I see what's happening here with these markets in the last 5 years. What we're experiencing now has happened twice. All of 22 in 2024 in August, we had a slide in the first week in August, about 5 to 7%, and then recovered. You won't even remember that. And then we had the big one in COVID, and I just want to come on and let you know that these fixed income investments are available with your investment firms as well as in your 401k, 403b account. And it might be something you want to take a look at um, whenever you feel that you might want to have some money that you can always get your hands on. Okay. So this is John, and I'm going to feature someone who has a high level expertise with the bonds and the T bills are the treasury notes that are just as good. They auction them off and she covers all that. I'm going to come back and do a screen share, and we're going to wrap up the meeting. I encourage you to like, subscribe to the channel, and give me some comments because I'll be pulling out this type of content regularly as we go through our journey into retirement. Okay. Thank you, and I'll be right back. Okay, our featured content creator is Diamond Nest Egg. Jennifer does a really, really good job of explaining and covering the treasury notes, the T bills, money markets, and some analysis. She also has a course, online course that you can subscribe to for related to bonds, as well as she's got some special subscription, members only type of live events that she does. But this is Diamond Nest Egg. If you wanted to learn more about uh, the bonds and things like that, the money market accounts held at Fidelity, Schwab, as well as over at Vanguard. She has some videos on that. I think I looked at something about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was something titled "Why I'm Moving My Money Out of Fidelity's Money Market" or something like that. But she explained all of them. So this is a good resources if for related to fixed income. She'll explain it a whole lot more in detail than what you're getting from me. But I like the fixed income investments because if I was going to be retiring, that money must be secure. The biggest problem that we have is when you have these market downturns is prolonged recovery. There's been a couple cases where it took a while for the market to recover, specifically the housing crisis of 2008. This is what you would get if you open up a money market account with VO Bank. It's an online bank. Um, you could use their system to transfer the money. Of course, you link it up and it will post after about 3 days. If you wire the money in it from your bank, it may be a service fee. They also got CDs here. CDs are very easy to open up. You don't have to be dealing with the auctions and stuff like that. I've never done that, but you may be interested in. And one thing about investing as you get older, you try some of these different. I had a CD with them and I made some pretty good money off of it. But I found that their money markets are just as comparable. I'm getting about 4.25 with the money markets, but they have a tendency to go down. The interest rates go down. You're not going to be locked in here at this. But I've had good luck with that. I'm making some pretty good money. I had a couple $1,000s in interest income last year, and some of my raises haven't even been that much over the years. So I'm real happy with that. But this is all I got for you guys here at this meeting. Um, like I said, go ahead and subscribe, give me some likes, and be on the lookout for my next one. Okay. And thanks. My name is John, and this meeting is adjourned.